Today's story comes to us from r/RPG Horror Stories. This is a story from about 15 years ago. I was GMing a game of Castles and Crusades. One player had a true neutral druid. The story involved the players investigating who was behind a sudden rash of goblin raids against a previously peaceful farming village, and if possible, put a stop to future raids. After a fight with a goblin raiding party, one goblin was still alive and had surrendered. The players questioned the goblin about who was coordinating the raids, but it soon became clear that he was just a lowly grunt with no real knowledge of the higher-ups. However, this is when the druid decided that he didn't believe the goblin. With the goblin tied up, he announced that he was getting his knife. "I'm going to make him talk," he said with a certain glee. He then threatened the goblin if he didn't reveal the commanding mastermind. I announced that the goblin was scared, but repeated in a cowering voice that he was ignorant of such things. Okay, he had his chance, the player said, and started to go into a graphic description of... I told him the goblin was screaming, but didn't reveal anything useful amidst his screams. The player, still convinced that he was hiding something, started to graphically At this point, it was clear that the other players were getting a little uncomfortable about the player's apparent sadistic glee in the graphic descriptions of torture. At that point, I stepped in and said, "Add evil to your alignment. By the way, an alignment change like that is going to result in you losing your druidic powers." That's when the player lost it. He said that since goblins were evil, according to the monster manual, it was okay to torture them for the greater good. Furthermore, he argued, true neutral simply meant that he could do anything, good or evil, to get the job done. Evil alignments, according to him, meant that evil acts were committed only for sheer pleasure. I stood firm and insisted that he had committed an evil act and the alignment change was justified. I then told him if we were to play any more games together, he would have to tone down the graphic torture scenes because it was creeping me out a little. That got him even angrier, and he accused me of implying that he didn't know the difference between fantasy and reality, i.e. everything in the game was just fantasy, so any content should be okay. That ended up being the last game I GM'd for the group. I ended up leaving the group not too long after for not altogether unrelated reasons.
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Yeah, I think the Winter Wolf does. I would put the Winter Wolf in and take the other one out.
How is everybody? Doing all right tonight?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Hope.
Hello.
Hello. How is everybody? What's going down?
Welcome.
I'll try to. There.
Nice. Slow
Better?
down.
He's
Yeah.
dead.
All right.
Listen, I got to sneak a bunch of toads and beetles into this thing. So I got to get rid of as many dogs as I can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now the truth comes out. That's the truth.
I have my own motivations.
Go get him. Go get him.
Okay. Are we
Go
live?
get him.
We are
I think we
totally live. Say hello to everyone.
Hey.
It's a different Davis angle. I don't like it either, Venom. We've been struggling really bad about that. Hey, Venom, before I forget, I got your email and I've got things in motion. That was overlooked. I will get you straightened out, buddy.
Shouldn't
It's
have
in
touched
motion.
anything.
Did you take
Cannonball
a shot
Mayhem.
earlier?
Yeah.
All right.
That's not a bad idea.
I took a shot at my
Where?
own face with my fist. Yes, Savage.
Oh wow.
Earlier today, I started a watch party for the new like Gygax stuff announcements, like
Mhm.
the stream that we did with Luke. And I turned on the wrong fucking announcement and let it run for like an
Oh,
hour.
The old one, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know. And it was like an hour in before Chuck told me and caught it. And then
Nah, well,
like I quit. I'm clocking out.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
yeah. You do
That's
what you
good.
can.
Now y'all know the full story, I guess.
Where did you do the watch party?
Everywhere. It was on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.
How did I miss it?
Because I didn't say anything about it.
Okay.
Because I just did it.
Okay.
The best time.
Yeah.
Next time I'll put it in like the Skype.
Well, the
chat.
only thing I check regularly is Twitter.
Mm.
I don't even
see.
look at the other ones. I don't know how anyone keeps up with all of that. It's just so much. Though I have to admit though, I really like Pinterest. I really do. I've gotten sort of into Pinterest lately.
Same. I do
I'll
a
just
Pinterest
scroll
board
through
for
it.
all of my characters.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
no.
That's cool.
Yeah,
All right.
there's some great stuff.
Somebody's role playing game recommends using Pinterest. I don't remember whose it is.
It's ours now.
Yeah,
Castles and
yeah.
Crusades. Use Pinterest.
No, it's like in the text of the book. It's like use
Oh.
Pinterest to
Oh,
do
shit.
this. And I was like, oh, that's whose game is that? I don't remember.
So can we post anything on Pinterest? Like, I mean, from other people's things and just like repost them there or something? Or
I mean, probably not on a corporate account.
oh, that's right.
They might get a little
Yeah.
miffed
Yeah,
at that.
You can post your own stuff. You can repost things from other sources, but
Yeah, because there's a lot of cool, a lot of good information on Pinterest because people post all kinds of crazy stuff. A lot of really cool stuff.
it's a great resource for compiling ideas and images, stuff like that.
Did Kent say he'd be out?
He didn't say anything.
Okay, he's completely forgot about it then. That's fine. All right. No, I guarantee he has, but this is fine. Whatever, we don't need him anyway. So we're here today to hang out with you guys and talk to you about whatever, but we do have an interesting prompt we want to start with today that Grace came up with.
Where do you get your ideas from?
What? No, that's not it.
Oh, I just assume that's what we always talk about.
No. Grace, go ahead and broach the subject to the audience, and then we'll start.
Smart ass.
And then I tell you what, Grace, broach the subject to the audience, and then you go around and ask each one.
Yes. Yeah, I want to know what everyone in chat thinks first, and we can read and like respond to people.
Yeah, and then we'll answer at the end or whatever. Right, that would be fun.
Yeah. Also, so this was actually please.
It's fine. Anyone who's following us over on YouTube or Facebook, if you want to get in on the Death Angel, you're hilarious. If you want to get in on the giveaway, just you need to follow us over here and say howdy or whatever, and enter exclamation point raffle to and that's not the right one. Great, there's too many options on here. Christ Almighty, let me see if I can get it again. Of course, it's still got the typo in there. Wow, love it. You can follow us over here, exclamation point, follow the exclamation point raffle, and then you can go back to YouTube or wherever if you like. That's the only way we can really do this, so it's kind of like exclusive on Twitch. We're trying to get it fixed, but I don't think it's going to happen because Facebook and them doesn't like to play well with integration. Anyways, so we're giving away a few 15 or what are we giving away today? I think we're giving away some $15 ones and some $25 codes.
$100 store. No,
I have done that before, but not today. Anyway, you can join if you want. Just want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us, and I'll let this go to Grace now.
First of all, I'm just a fan of exclamation point coral, exclamation point warble, exclamation point waffle.
Waffle.
So this was actually not a question from my brain. This is a question that we talked about last night during our 5e actual play stream. And our friends Zach and Emily posed this question to us. What saving throw do you make the most in real life? is the basic like question. Because you
I mean,
do.
What
can think
saving
No,
of-
throw
you
do
do.
I can think of two.
what saving throw do we fail?
No, we'll make, but
God, my you guys.
Joe Maker, do I fail? Both. Wisdom immediately, quick on the draw. Why do you say wisdom? This failed a lot.
or just cosmically, it's failed a lot.
But we did get talking a lot about like what the stats look like in real life.
Oh,
Because a wisdom save, people that are more well versed in like the game than I am, but you use a lot of wisdom to resist like fear, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
wisdom and charisma both.
A little, yeah.
Yeah. Con save,
Yeah.
resist like getting sick. Dexterity save, getting out of the way. We have a friend that works in construction who said that he
Oh,
dex saves all day, every
Yeah, I was
day.
gonna say
I
Dex
bet
saves
so.
it,
Falling
yeah.
hammers can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. That's funny.
Generally
Blaze is talking
reflex,
about
but I roll will all the time. Not a minute passes.
it. You know, Venom, you're not alone. I can totally get that one too.
No.
Con save for
Why?
Taco
What do you
Bell.
do?
Conte versus Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
One thing that
Interesting.
I thought about wisdom was like it's a resistance to like putting yourself in like bad situations.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yes, that would be a good play for wisdom.
Which would mean that if you're succeeding at those saves, you would not be cognizantly aware most of the time that you're even doing it.
Right. But
Not
when you fail,
necessarily.
you're going to know for sure. Well, maybe not. I mean, it saves. You may not know. You may be just blissfully.
I mean, sometimes you'll be like, that sounds like a bad idea. I am not going to do that. But other times it's more like
it's
second decision make. It's intuition. It's just like
it's your intuition, and I would say that was that would be a wisdom thing. And no, you wouldn't, because you'll notice like people who grow up in certain environments have a particular way that they walk, and not only ways that they walk, but areas that they will walk, like how they walk on the sidewalk. And the most interesting I noticed was a friend of mine. First time I went to Boston. First time I was in a big city that was dangerous, the area we went to, and he was telling me how I was walking wrong and where I was walking wrong, and I was going to get mugged and beaten up if I kept doing that. And he was just doing it. It was like second nature to him. He didn't even think about it. He would step away from alleys or something like that, move around like alleys, or get to the outside of the sidewalk for alleys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And for doorways and junk.
No, that's real though.
Yeah.
Your body language on the street, like if you're walking wrong, you know it very quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Heck, I failed my deck save putting my socks on after taking a shower from Death Angels on YouTube.
Yeah,
Save.
Let's see.
Not only is he a fan of Carl Edward Wagner, but he's also funny. Look at this guy.
Mark's genre mixer over at YouTube said save versus coffee breath, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that could be.
My
dog has to make that save every time I like pick him up and have his face near mine.
Death Angel Shadow
save.
at YouTube said wisdom save keeps you from being. Oh no, that's not it. What is it? I lost it. This thing's chat's going fast. I found my deck save putting on my socks after taking a shower every morning. Advanced age. He's not old.
Yeah.
Old is.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What is old? Let's not discuss that.
Ooh. What save is it to ignore anger? I work in a corporate environment where I can't believe some people know so little about what they do. I have a thought about
Wisdom,
that.
Maybe?
I would
Or
argue that it's
charisma.
charisma. Because so like we talked about the notion of like possession and what being possessed would be like in real life. Working in retail, and especially just
You're
environments that are
functionally
awful.
possessed.
Right.
Yeah, because people around you are so like irritated and on edge all the day, like all the time, all day, and it totally like bleeds off on you. And so to just not get angry and like
Yeah.
remain strong in your own personality, I would
Yeah.
argue that it's charisma.
Yeah. That
See,
would
now
be
I
a
thought
good.
that's what I said. I thought charisma was bar hopping stuff, but I guess not. Continue. Sorry.
Getting
No,
laid.
it's your ability to shield what's left of your humanity from the draining forces
Of real life, of reality.
of real life. Yeah,
What's that? Okay, so there's this show. It's
the
about
meager flame of ambition. You have to protect it at all costs.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a little girl that
Okay,
come
wait.
into class the
What's
other
the
day.
name of that show?
You
Go
want-
ahead.
Oh, I won. Okay, so I had a little girl that used to come in my classroom every day for 5 years. Mr. Cumbo, I hate people. People suck, and she would say those lines every day.
Hell
And
yeah.
I haven't taught school in years, and she sent me a message the other day, one friend on Facebook, and I said, "Hey Haley, people suck. I hate people." She said, "Yes," and she's like 24 now or something, or 25.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
It's funny.
Okay, wait. There's this show out there. I don't know the name of the show, and I haven't watched it. I just
Rousing.
saw it on TikTok. It's about this group of vampires, right? And it's a comedy.
What we do in
What
the
we do in the
shadows.
shadows.
What is it?
What is it?
What we do in the shadows.
It has the guy in there who like sucks, like drains your energy or whatever.
Yeah,
just
he's an
like
energy
boring.
vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Colin
I know what you're
Robinson.
talking about now. I know what you're talking about now.
Recently in our
Quality
5e game on
programming.
Wednesdays, we our players just discovered 3 horses. And by that I mean stole 3 horses. And
Look what
they
we found.
were gonna name him Colin Robinson and instead went with the Dave Matthews Band of Horses.
One's Dave, one's Matthews, one's
But-
Band.
It was really close.
I love Dave.
It's
Matthews.
gonna be Colin Robinson.
That's awesome.
That's some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. I gotta watch that show.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's on
Hulu?
Hulu. Yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
If it's not on Netflix,
Davis?
I'm probably not gonna watch it. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Chris Donovan, you know who Chris is. I think you tried to kill him at Ozark Con. Anyway, he says, I've been reading the notes, etc., of Photius the fishmonger, deceased, about Enzea, and trying to understand the world. Is it an inverted sphere on the inside of a surprisingly hollow Erd, like the world containing Westeros and Essos in the opening credits of the Game of Thrones, with Enzea, the dragon, at the core, buried but glowing inside instead of a sun?
You are attempting a fool's errand. Give up.
Yes.
And Zaya sitting inside Erd is it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
So it's not really physically inside Erd.
That's right.
Erd is in a sphere, and Zaya floats in like this infinite space.
That's a Steven idea.
Actually, Enzea's more or less in a dimensional pocket, right, Davis?
No,
No? Okay.
no,
So is it like orbit Erd?
no. It doesn't
That
exist.
hasn't been discussed.
It just okay. Look, so
It just exists.
So it's not
It just
interdimensional, but it's not going to be
Just
physical
shut up.
either. Yeah, I'll just shut up.
They
Yeah,
haven't
it
hashed
just
that
exists.
out.
Okay, so here's how the things begin. Here's how.
See what
things
you did,
begin.
Chris? Anyway, sorry.
And
This
Zaya
is
is
what
in all
happens
of
when
us.
two people make settings without talking to each other and say, let's just mash them together.
He
It's on the
followed-
inside of all
He
of
followed
us.
up
That's
with
where
our
Zaya
mushrooms
is.
involved.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of mushrooms are involved.
Oh, there it
That's
is.
what cow patties are for.
Oh, my.
So this is how there is nothing, right? And except
Okay, we're going way back. All right.
yes, there is nothing except for the dragon. Okay. And well, at least actually, Jeremy, speaking of which, our worlds actually we did develop them separately, but on our trip to Gen Con one time we got talking about them and they
No, I know
meshed.
the story. Yeah.
Yeah, they mesh perfectly. So I have a creation.
Except for where they don't, but
I have a creation event, right? And that's the creation of the Maelstrom. But Kent never has a creation event, so that matter just appears. Okay, but I don't have like a. When I developed my world, I don't have a what do you call it? A metastasizing event that. How do you describe it?
Chad's hilarious
Hey.
today. I swear to God,
describe
they're
it,
cracking me
describe
up.
it in general terms.
Okay. Anyway, so And Zaya is sort of like, she's called the mother of worlds, right? Because she creates matter, right?
Okay.
But she can't do anything.
Oh, the matter of worlds. I get it.
Just matter. Yeah, right. Yeah, just
Yeah.
matter. Things come out of the maelstrom, right? And that's where all matter comes from. But she can't do anything with it because she only knows one language, and that's the language of destruction. So she can only destroy things. That's it. And what
But
she does
makes
is
matter.
she destroys the void, and the void is empty. And by destroying the void, matter comes into existence, right?
That's cool.
And that's
I'm
where
really into that.
Yeah, I think it's a cool concept, but I don't have a metastasizing creation event where she can create anything, right? So Kent has the creation event with his god.
So hold on.
Right.
Hold on just a moment. All right. Hold on just a second. I'm going to interrupt you. All right. Go ahead, Troll Lord.
All right. So yeah, Jeremy, all of this has been discussed, every bit of it. You have to take it into kind of a metaphysical plane and think of a ruler. Aaron is the ruler of 12 inches that you see on the thing. But if you divide that ruler in half, you've got 6. If you divide it again, you got 3. If you divide it again, you got 1.5 or whatever, blah, blah. Ad infinitum, right? That is in Zaya inside the Aridian ruler. It is its own infinite expanse of universe that is separate and a part of the world of Aaron. Does that make sense?
You've blown Davis's mind.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense to me.
That actually
It's like you can keep adding numbers.
Very early in the folio version of the Rings of Brass, the Air thing. We show graphics where you see curves with this pinpoint, infinite in one direction, infinite in the other direction. But that's what you.
Oh, is he still talking?
Same space. You got to think metaphysically.
Yeah. Someone put in chat, phone a troll.
Could someone clip that?
Oh my God. It said phone a troll. Someone said it in chat.
Wow. We're talking about
not a problem.
creation myths, and all of a sudden Steve's like tinny voice through the phone starts talking about rulers of 6 and metaphysical this and that.
That's how our conversations end most of the time when we talk about this stuff. We're like, well, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And it goes
And the thing is like this because it is.
Yeah, it just is. And they both they said they both exist in the same space at the same time, but are separated in that same space at the same time. Yada, 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 yada. But basically it boils down to also the language of creation and destruction, which like meld together to create the universe that's falling apart and come together.
So
Steve
realm.
Steve is kind of like over the whole ethos. He's Prometheus in the air watching.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Oh my God! I'm
So
sorry.
I don't really know how to
I lost it
describe
there
it.
really bad.
I don't know how to describe it in relation to air, but it sits in Zaya's like a flat Earth, like it's flat. Okay, it's not a sphere, and it just floats in this space, and it doesn't have. There's no planets or anything.
I tried to clip it, but the clip creator's bugging out. It won't let me do it.
Damn.
And there's no sun. There is no sun in air in Zaya.
What is the landscape like then?
There's a big ball of flame. I think it would be similar to anything that you sort of see around you. Well, a little bit more stark, but
Hey Matt,
I don't really. I mean, you have your forests and your great steppes and stuff like that, but there's no sun. There's actually this guy. His job is to
We're
pull
talking
this
about
funny
Not a problem. We
creation
figured as
myths,
much.
and all of a sudden
around
Steve's
Zaya to
like
give it life.
tinny voice through
So
the
he goes
phone and
around
starts
the
talking.
top and then goes under and comes back up and comes back under and comes back up. And that's all he does for eternity until the ball of flame catches up with him. And he actually literally rides on a chariot and has the horses pulling the chariot through the sky. And he had a son too who pissed off Zaya. And he tried to hide his son inside the chariot. And Zaya found out and turned him to cindering ashes. And this is how volcanoes were created. So Zaya takes his son out of the chariot and just cinders him and spreads the cinders around the world. Well, they were so hot with anger that the cinders burned through the earth down to the molten core at the bottom of Zaya, and the lava spewed up. Thus, you get volcanoes.
This feels very Greek.
Probably a lot quicker.
You're right. It actually does. Okay, got a couple questions here. I'm gonna throw at you guys real fast. This is from George Fields. When the OGL-free PH 10th printing is released, is there any chance that the first through 9th PDF printings can be included in its purchase? We are working on something for that. Absolutely, George. I talked to Steve today because we want to do something special for the 2025, right? Which is our anniversaries for this year, right? So we're definitely going to have something up for the offering. We're talking about it.
I thought 2024 was the anniversary.
No, 20 years,
I thought this
25
year was-
years. You got
Oh, well,
baited.
when you say 2025, that sounds like a year.
Hey, Steve did me the same way, so I just get.
Oh yeah, right. We should do 2020. No, 24, 25. No, 25, 24.
So let's see. Second question from Chris Donovan. So in a way, I just spun and created chaos like an Inzaya. Oh yes, you did, Chris.
Yeah.
Very good. And he also
Yes,
wants to know, he wants to know how many mushrooms were eaten to come up with Inzaya. And Dave says it's all Greek to him.
They were mostly your garden variety, but there were a few that were consumed.
There were a few that
For
had
legal
purple speckles.
reasons, 0.
Right.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of surveys then through cow pastures.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
you know it by looking at him, but Davis, more of a toad licker.
Yeah.
He's calling me about 25-20. Jeez.
Tell him just to get on the goddamn stream.
The show.
Just get in.
Jesus. No, he's driving somewhere. He's in his truck. I don't know what he's doing. He's a wild man. All right.
Holy.
Anyway.
He's going to BB.
I just picture him maulding behind the steering wheel, like, I'm afraid.
His hands are molded in the wheel.
I'm getting everything wrong.
I know. Yeah, no. He's gonna go like, no, it's not like that at all. No, nothing. We're like,
He's
no,
hunting
no,
a hamburger. Why would you go to BB?
One of these days, we're going to have to do like a cheeseburger tier list with Steve.
I actually found a cheeseburger tour out in, believe it or not, of all places, out where he loves to go, out in Arizona near the alien stuff. Yeah, they do a whole tour
All right.
down the whole state of cheeseburgers. I showed it to him. He
Yeah,
said, "We
there's
need to go
that
do
place
that."
he really likes in.
Yeah.
I think it's in Roswell or just north of Roswell.
alien
Just north of
stuff is in
Roswell. I can't
Nevada,
think of the name of
isn't
it
it?
now. He'll probably call me back.
in
and get it from me,
Roswell.
so.
He and his son, he
Mexico.
likes it so much that he and his son just took off one day.
Yeah.
Spent 2 days driving out there to get a cheeseburger and then just drove back.
He told me
Hey,
about
Matt.
that.
Yeah, in fact, he'll probably call back in a minute and let us know the name of that place because I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's any moment the phone will ring.
Matt, what is life like in BB?
Yeah, what is life like in BB?
Tell us about it. Also, Davis, there's a video game called Darkwood.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
I think that you would like it, and I think
No, it's in New
So,
Mexico. I
the
meant
way
New
that you've
Mexico
described-
instead of Arizona. Sorry.
no, you're good. The
I'm
way that
old.
you've described Inzaya, it reminds me a little bit of Darkwood.
Richard.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's calling me back. He's listening to everything we do. Yes, oh Lord,
Darkwood.
Master.
Let me make sure I have the right name.
Tatum! It's
Inventory.
Tatum, New Mexico. I could not remember the name of
Tatum,
it.
yeah, Tatum.
What's the name of the place? The burger bar or bite?
I just got pictures.
The
Barn.
Burger Barn. Okay.
Oh, is it the Darkwood survival game?
Yes, I know it's a strip bar.
Um,
No, kidding.
Darkwood survival game. It's got like a picture of a creepy guy with like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like survival horror. But I don't know. You can
I'll
play it
look
if you
at
don't
it.
like horror.
Chris,
I don't like horror and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of horror.
It's just creepy and like
Yeah.
interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I think
Now,
you'd
I-
like it.
I'll take a look at it and read.
I got a question for Matt. Well, first, Chris, we might be there. There are some other stuff I'm working on for Arkansas. I'm actually working with some kind of group that handles gaming all over the state. I don't know if you know about it or not, but I'll let you know about it because I'll probably be getting you to go to some of that. But there's more coming about that. I'll email you.
When can we expect a TrollCon update?
I can give you one. I just gave one. I gave one to the stream the other day. Yeah, I'm discussing things
I don't
from Holiday
remember that.
Inn down
I
in.
haven't-
Well, you were. I think you were gone or sick or something. I don't know. Maybe in Tatum. But
My brain
gonna-
doesn't work so good.
I'm gonna try to have it at Holiday Inn in Little Rock there next to the airport and get food trucks and just do a small affair. That's what I'm working on. So there's your update. Now,
Hell yeah.
where's the next one at here? Oh, Matt Behringer said and this is why I'm curious. It says it's BB, pretty rural area. It's where the blackbirds fell is about all. What is that?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm curious.
What he's talking about. There's a guy. He's on a chariot. He pulls a ball of fire around, and it goes underneath the earth and around.
Yeah.
That's what baby's like.
Baby has some real pretty scenery around it. Actually, I don't know. I haven't been to Baby in years. I thought Rosebud would be a better place. So
Rosebud.
yes, you get it. No one else gets it. I was like, yes.
Why not?
Wait, what? What's
Rosebud.
not to get? Yes, I've seen the movie.
Tyler,
I feel
he's
like
in
most people
Facebook.
have seen that movie. That's like referencing The Wizard of Oz and being like, "Oh, you get it."
Yes, but no, how many people actually randomly remember Rosebud?
Oh wow, he said
Most
thousands and thousands
people.
of blackbirds
Really?
died and
Okay,
fell to the
wait.
ground on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
Thousands.
Rosebud was a sled. I wonder.
That's
has everyone
horrifying.
Seen the movie?
Okay, we haven't said the name of the movie. Do a poll. Well, I guess
Yeah,
you can't do a poll. You can't do a poll asking.
No, we already have.
Oh,
a
yes
poll.
and no. What do you know? What movie Rosebud is from?
But we already have a poll going on. Can we have
Oh
two?
man,
It's okay. You can still ask it.
Oh wait, no, it's not
No,
a
we
poll.
don't.
It's
We
just
just
a
have
pinned
pins.
message.
It's
Sorry,
Citizen
I don't
Kane.
know anything.
Everybody knows that.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't know it. I read it from Dave. I probably could have thought about it, but I didn't bother to think about it. Someone always has the answer in chat. Always. That's a trick.
Chuck with his empirical evidence.
That's
It
right.
looks like you made
Look,
your
Tillowitz said Citizen Kane.
perception check instead of intelligence saving throw, trying to recall this knowledge.
What's a perception check? I only play Castles and Crusades.
Right. Sorry, it's that stinky D&D stuff. More like do and
Ooh.
do. Am I right?
Or like
All right,
More
calm
like
down,
P&U.
Brittle. Calm down.
imagine
Oh,
playing
God.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's
in the
what
year of
Steve
our
calls
Lord
a heat
2024.
cheeseburger. You're absolutely right, Richard. Meat, cheese, and a piece of bread. That's it.
He's like a 5-year-old eating a cheeseburger.
You know,
No,
he's
I
listening.
think-
He is
hey.
listening. He will give you the worst
I-
editing job ever if you're not careful. Beware.
Fine. I already have to do the Hall of Many Pains, whatever.
The perception check. What is a perception check? Wisdom?
It's a
Yeah.
wisdom based die roll to determine whether or not you notice something rather than articulating what you're looking at.
What you catch in a glance, offhand.
Well, that's
Not on
That's
purpose.
the passive perception check.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
that's like a challenge class.
Right.
That the dungeon master rolls in secret against to see whether or not whatever's sneaking around is passively noticed by you, and it's more difficult or it's easier to succeed at rather than actively looking.
That's if you actually roll
Right.
dice.
Yeah,
That's some
rather than
yesterday.
just assuming that. Yeah,
No, I just make a number up. It's all good. The one I want.
I'd call perception a constitution. Speak on that.
Yeah.
Why? I
Yeah.
wanna
Why
know.
would you call it that, Gabriel? I
Tell
want
me
to know
about
that.
it.
That's good.
perception. What?
It's a constitution.
Well, I understand the words you're saying. Explain it. I don't.
That's what we're saying.
It's the
The
health of the-
Gabriel in chat.
Yeah, it's the health of the
I
organism.
call perception a constitution. It's the health
I
of the
know
organ.
why. That's awesome.
Well,
That's
constitution
interesting.
is.
That's an interesting
Perception
thought.
is your ability to perceive things,
Right.
which I guess could have a bearing on.
Yeah, because I'm old. My health's not great, and I don't see shit. I'm just telling you. So that's
Like the health of your eyes or
It's
your
plausible.
ears or like the health of your senses. Yeah,
Ooh,
there's some of that. Like if you're really sickly, you're probably not going to be very
your
outward.
ability to like remain alert and awake like in your body and not be like bored and in your imagination or like whatever, but having like a physical body sense of like I'm just here passively aware of my surroundings and I'm just kind of looking for anything that's amiss. I think you could treat that as a constitution.
right. I can see the
Yeah,
point in
you
it.
could. I think you could call it the charisma, constitution, or wisdom. You could.
Well,
I think.
Here's
Because
something.
there is. Huh?
Well, I was gonna say, Steve's we always talk about how, in Siege Engine you could switch everything up; it doesn't hurt anything, right? I would love to put out a document for each one of the abilities and a way to show them how you can use them in a different way. Like, in other words, how would you use charisma outside of a normal charisma check, right? Or how would you use?
Mhm.
I would love to have a document explains it because I think that's.
Yeah, and I
I think it's there.
think
It's
you
just got to be explained, right?
Yeah, I think you should break it up. I think, okay, I'm not going to say you should. I'm going to say it might be worth
Well,
trying to break it up into different things or change it a little bit. So there's like
You can
situational.
do that. It doesn't mean you always should, because
Yes,
then,
right. That's what I meant to say. Yeah,
yeah,
You
because
should-
then you kind of
I almost
open,
did.
because then that deteriorates the
Yes.
importance of low and high scores. When I have a crap dex score, but I can use charisma instead to accomplish the exact same thing through the same vector.
Yeah, but I
progression.
wouldn't suggest that it's the exact same thing, right? So you
Yeah.
have like situational awareness, but how many, like your hair stands on the back of your neck, right? You get that feeling. You don't know what it is. You have no idea what's going on, but suddenly you just get that feeling, right?
Mhm.
You're not even I mean, you might even just be reading a book and all of a sudden the hair stands up on the back of your neck. That could be a constitution check. And what could set off a constitution check? Let's just say it's like a magical beast, displacer beast walking outside. And it just, it's
a
giving
phase
off,
tiger.
or phase tiger. Yeah. It's giving off some kind of aura that's like strange, and your body picks it up. Your eyes and ears and whatever doesn't, but
Right.
your body picks it up. That could be constitution.
Fully
and then-
agree.
Yeah, and then situational awareness, I think a normal wisdom, I guess. So, for example, I'm sitting here, I was typing, and I'm just sitting here typing, and then I notice that there's a spider over on the wall. Okay, I'm not looking at the wall; I'm looking at the computer, and then I just look up, and there's the spider because it's moving, right?
It's prompted by nothing.
Yeah, I know
Your
but
spidey senses.
something in my body was like all the little bitty movement on the wall
I
attracted.
like the idea that
whatever.
Spider-Man's power is not quick senses, but the ability to detect spiders.
There's some interesting comments about that.
Movement.
So let me repeat some of these comments. So
Yeah,
Kurt
I'm looking at
said,
this too.
wouldn't it be better suited as a wisdom for older folks? Experience tells us where to look. I see that, of course.
Totally.
Vision
Yes,
is dexterity. Are your eyes quick enough?
Sounds
to
like
catch what you
old
need
people
to-
cope to me. I don't
So
know.
so Venom says vision is dexterity. Are your eyes quick enough to catch what you need to see? That's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of ways to look
No,
at it. You know?
I don't know about that, but I do think that initiative should be wisdom based.
Yeah.
Speak on that.
How quickly you can move is way less important in the beginning of a fight than knowing the fight, like being able to read the situation and read your opponent. So your wisdom score should realistically have a way more important bearing on who gets to strike first and like how and why, and it should afford you way more control over the fight. Like if you have a guy who knows a lot about
Yes, I would agree.
about
100%.
his physiology and the way his kinesis and the way his body moves compared to a guy who's just really really fast, the guy who knows a lot is gonna control that fight.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking.
Yes, no, we know that. We know that. Just there's like ample evidence in fighting that that's true. You know, like an untrained boxer versus a trained boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know, you know. And then there's the other thing that sort of gets me, and I don't know how this would affect combat. I've tried to work it in a few times. There are some people who are naturally good at that, just naturally. And it has nothing to do with their strength. You can strengthen up, you can bulk up and stuff. But these people just know how to fight, you know,
Right.
just like a natural born fighter or something like that.
That I would call like constitution or dexterity, like the body awareness that you have of like you have a very accurate perception. I say this because I do not have this at all, but like being able to tell where your body is in space and how to get it effectively to point B.
Mm-hmm.
I would call that constitution, but like wouldn't be mad at dexterity either. Or even intelligence.
I was leaning in part towards intelligence as being a big, you know.
Scott, Jeff, I don't disagree with you. But I see dexterity as generally overvalued in most D20 based games, and anything I can do to make it not do everything is a win in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking differently about like how to apply it differently.
Yeah.
It accomplishes the task of a tabletop role playing game better, I think.
Yeah. Well, here's a hot take. this might be a really hot take, especially
Welcome,
for some of the
Diovan.
people in the chat. I think that initiative is completely arbitrary, and we should throw it in the trash. Because it's like a 3-minute ritual that decides who gets to go what turn.
I wouldn't disagree with you at all.
If you're playing with most tables, I think it would take longer to decide who's going when. If it's not
All
just,
you
rolled.
do is before you sit down is we start with the we have the person to the left of the game master gets to go first, and we go clockwise. That's how we always do it.
This is where I disagree with you, Jeremy. I think and I'm not opposed to getting rid of initiative. I think sometimes it is more of a hindrance than a help. But I would say, rather than even give people turns, everyone rolls the dice at the same time, right? And then it's up to the referee to figure out exactly how that happens, how it plays out. I know there's complications to that,
and it would also like think about and I know this happens to me. When I hear roll for initiative, there's a switch that turns on in my brain, and I'm like, okay, we're in the fighting portion of the game.
Right.
And everything changes in my perspective and how I play the game. It's a total shift. If all of a sudden there's a sneak attack and we were just role playing, but suddenly now we're fighting and nobody said roll for initiative, and it's like a seamless flow from one to the other. Then everything feels way more dangerous because there's no telegraph. We are fighting now. It could just happen at any time.
JD is saying you could roll initiative and the players raise hands and go by player quickness rather than the roll. So the fastest to do this.
So
that sounds awesome.
Will matter. Their physical dexterity will
matter.
So what I do,
cage match to decide initiative.
Jeremy's played my games. He knows how I do. I do a group initiative and we go from the left. And
that's a dog shoulder. So
they only have 4 answers they can give me when we do initiative. They don't tell me what they're doing. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. What I do care if it's going to be non-combat, if it's going to be a spell, ranged, or melee. That's all I care about. It cuts out half the time it takes to get through that if you just do that. Because honestly, you're still going to have to go through the motions of taking their turn anyway, right? And doing what they're doing. So why have it repeated twice? Sure. It's very fast that way, and I love it that way. But I could see my guys, the old school guys I play with here, they'd be like, "That's a bunch of horse shit. We want initiative." They're already mad that I took their weapons.
You don't need it.
So
see what you do. What you do is you throw out initiative. All the turn order is determining who gets. It doesn't determine anything about the sequence of resolution.
Who's at the podium
is who's at the podium saying what they're doing.
That's right.
Yeah. Resolution is determined entirely by the type of action being taken. Yes. With spells being last, ranged being second to last, melee being first, or something like that. And sometimes if your target moves, you already declared you're going to do that.
Right.
That spell goes off.
Yes. No.
Even if your guy isn't there anymore.
When I have used the non-initiative systems, I've had that happen before. That specific incident where a spell goes off in an area and the monster's not there anymore.
It's easy.
The guy, you've only got 6 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah, 6. That's right. That's right.
And you set it off, and then it goes off.
Well, what I do is,
wait. I also tried the other route, Chuck. This is insane. I used to have. I just burned them. God damn it. I had these sheets, the accounting sheets, where you do your ledger and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I had the sheets, and it was numbered 0 to 1,000 pages and pages. And then people would roll their initiative, right? And I had a segmented system where, say you roll it, and not everyone got a D10. You'd get a D6, D8, D10, depending on your character class and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the number you rolled was the segment that you got to act in, right? Mm-hmm. So if you roll a 6 in the first thing, you act on segment 6. And then after segment 6, you get to roll again. And if it's 10, you don't get to act again until segment 16. And it would go up. So that's how detailed I got it one time. I was
that's
just
pretty detailed. Well, what I do is I have a standing rule at my table. And all my players know this. that it's 6-second rounds, but time is fluid. So if there's anything that happens that I feel like will affect someone, no matter how movement works, then it still happens, like the spell example.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I do non-combat first, so we know where they're moving during the round. Even though I may move them on the map or on the table, they're still moving during the round, and my players understand that they're moving during that time, and they may get hit by a spell, they may get hit by an arrow, whatever. It's just fluid. And I just try to cut it out. I just say, we're not going to argue about it. This is kind of how it is. And I determine that part of the story. Now, Statler brought up a good point. He said, well, what about some of the classes that have bonuses to initiative? That's easy. On their turn in group, Statler, I give them a +5 bonus, but they can't go above the ceiling. Like for me, I use a D12, so you can't get more than a D12, so they can have a +5, but they can't go above a 12. That way, we still have the ideal of a tie going on. So if we, that way, if we tie, we get to re-roll. Yada yada. That's kind of how I do it, anyways. I just give them a bonus, and when it's their turn. And that way it kind of, or some people say, well, they should go before everybody else. Well, they could, but then you're talking about a surprise situation. It's not the same, right? So that's why I kind of started with a bonus on it. Anyway, that's my spiel
I like
on
initiative
that.
as it is.
Yeah. So for you guys that are just tuning in
vanilla.
or whatever, if you're over on Facebook or YouTube and you want to join the raffle over here, there's the link right there. We're giving away a $25 code for the store and a few 15. So we just want to appreciate you for hanging out. You come over here and give us a follow. Exclamation point raffle. What have you done for air today?
Ooh.
Well, I actually finished our whole new underwater supplement today, Troy. You ought to see the thing. It's awesome. 3 versions of it. It's going to be really nice. It goes on sale next week.
What?
I'm messing with him. It's Cannibal. I'm messing with him because he loves the underwater stuff. But we've done a lot for air today, haven't we, guys? We've all worked hard today for air.
Oh, yes.
I didn't do anything for air today.
Shh. Elden Ring, be quiet.
Shh. Come on.
I did that for like 20 minutes.
He's listening. You need to bump it up.
I did. I developed a set of armor and a culture for a region of air.
Is that the butt that you put on Twitter today?
Did you
It
post
was
the
like
butt on Twitter?
yeah, it was like an armored butt. Someone's butt in plate armor. If you're not following Troller Games on Twitter, this is the kind of armored butt action that you're missing out on.
It's funny looking at the armor. Yes, when I actually, because I was like really curious, how do they actually armor up the butt so that you can actually move around and sit down and stuff like that? And so I had to look up.
It's probably male.
Buns of steel. Kubinet, get out. Leave.
And there's some crazy, anyway, I won't go into it. Let's just say people were proud of their anatomy. Very proud of their anatomy.
Davis is asking the most important questions. How do we armor the butt?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking the other day about, armor and buttholes. You remember that? We were talking about that. I was trying to figure out when you were saying that, well, they have to get it up in the butthole. And I'm thinking, well, if they're wearing plate armor, how does that work? I don't know. Is there like a butthole thing you open up, then insert your sword or your spear, or what? How's that work in battle? Well, we were talking about the two-handed weapons. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah. I think there is one type of armor where there actually is a thing, so they can go to the bathroom. They can just unlatch it and pull it down. So.
I'm picturing like a mail slot.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Warning. No.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, look, there's a trap door.
Anyway.
Right there. Anyways. Oh, mercy sakes.
Yeah, I think the reality of it's probably not nearly as romantic as we make it out to be. But...
I'm a male slot.
Well, how much longer we got today? Do we go to 5:30?
We go to 5:30, and
All
I
right.
have got to. Yeah. Anyway, I've been told by my boss, and not the one that drives around in his truck and calls in on the stream on a phone, that we're going to go eat in a little bit. So I got to watch.
We're gonna what?
What?
I'm taking my wife out to eat later on. I promised her I would. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, then what about you guys? What saving throw do you make the most often, day to day? I want to know.
Who do you want to go first? Pick who goes first.
Wait, do we have an insanity check?
I mean,
We do now.
Yes, suddenly I need an insanity check.
Sanity and comments in my games. Or beauty. Sorry, beauty. I went AD&D there for a second. Anyway, pick somebody, Grace.
That's gonna be you.
Great. This was the look of I'm looking like I'm concentrating, so she'll pick someone else. And it didn't work. So for me, I had to save versus death every day. And I'm telling you what, so
Nice.
far it's working.
Nice.
AD&D ended in 1989. That's not a thing anymore.
Oh, it is in my games. It's in Davis's, I guarantee it. But anyway, probably it would be con check because at my age, I do good just to wake up and open my eyelids. But that's a really clever question. Honestly, it really is. Because as you go out through the day, there's other times when you doubt your sanity, you doubt your intelligence, and especially when I get involved in the engrossing cooler talk we have in the group on Skype, some of that stuff really gets me to thinking hard about things. And I realize sometimes that I don't know what in the hell's going on. So then I have to doubt and think I'm failing these saves and I don't understand what's happening. So there's a little bit of that, But probably con check would be my most common one, actually.
Makes sense. What about you, Davis?
Oh, it would have to be
Scottish Jeff.
Do what?
Scottish Jeff said save versus death, start listening to the wife. I was like, well, he's not wrong.
Good advantage.
Right. Mine would probably be a dex check to make sure I don't kill myself. Since I've cut off 4 fingers.
Oh my God.
And the other day I was chopping wood, and I missed the piece of wood and the chopping block. And the axe came swinging right down past my leg. I mean, just like, I was a 1/4 inch past my leg. And of course, I'm out there in flip-flops too. And I'm thinking,
Of course you're swinging an axe in flip-flops. Why wouldn't you be?
That's extremely
Are you sure
Davis.
it's not wisdom checks?
yeah, I don't know if that's a wisdom check.
Maybe. He is like, when you like, what year was that? Was that like 2007 or 2006? You were like barbed wire climbing champion of the North.
Oh yeah, there was
Harden.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there was. I won though.
You did win. You even got bail.
Yeah. Hey,
You won.
On that incident, I didn't realize I'd broken my ankle, and I drove around with my stick shift with a broken freaking ankle and wondering why. Dang, I can't get this clutch down. I mean, I was keep pushing on it.
God,
my leg is not working.
God.
I know. I was like, what the? It's just not working. Eventually, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Yeah, you broke your ankle." Like,
oh my God!
There's your problem.
Yeah, no, there's your problem.
Chris said you should have had field plate on when chopping firewood at all times.
Yeah, there you go.
Barely an inconvenience.
What
So
about you,
wisdom
Jeremy?
for you. Okay.
Yeah. And dex.
Intelligence, and I fail regularly.
How so?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that or not. You're almost to the borderline of being like Spock intelligent. I mean, you're so intelligent. Well, oh no, I see that now. You're so smart that you're dumb. I get it. I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is that what you're saying?
You're like a bag of rocks, man. You're like a pumpkin that's been smushed.
You're
like a watermelon that's been eaten.
Let's just beat up on Jeremy for the last 5 minutes.
I don't know what that means.
God.
Now, Jeremy, I don't know what your saving throw is, but I would say this.
So specifically for what Phantom is saying, I can't remember anything.
That's fine.
I have
I wear a name tag around the house sometimes.
The only things I remember are useless. Useless things. If it's important, if it's urgent, if it's deeply emotionally resonant with me, gone. It vanishes like a fart in the wind. I don't know what happens.
Like a fart in the wind.
Is that why you guys say to me all the time, "Who are you?" Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah,
I figured that out.
exactly.
Now. Okay, all right. He's like a watermelon after Gallagher's done using the sledge-o-matic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of like farts in the wind, do any of you guys have the problem?
Where's this going?
Like,
You guys ever have that problem where you fart in the wind and then it comes back at you?
No. Oh yeah.
My wife said that the other night. She was very angry, by the way. I got really in trouble that
When
night.
you fart, but the fart is wind, and so it's just.
Like
Sorry,
Dave's taking
I
to
didn't mean to cut
concentrate. He's
I'm thinking of an incident. Anyway,
Hey, babe.
Yeah. peeing on a windy day.
What?
No, have not had that problem.
I mean, I don't like.
I
Just don't pee into the
I'm not
breeze.
saying anything. I'm not saying a word.
No. It was
No
my
comment.
first 14er,
No.
and I was really proud of myself. But I had to pee. It was windy, so.
It's called breaking wind for a reason, Willie. So what do you call the other version?
Dude. What's the CR of a fart?
Rick and Rain? I don't know.
It depends.
Oh,
It
no,
really
no.
depends.
I had a question though. Okay, so speaking of farts in the wind, do any of you guys have a thing with like face name association?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I can't put
Like a
faces
good, like
and names together.
like a
sometimes.
crow or a, yeah,
No,
I have
no.
that.
I will
Like a
forget.
negative, yeah.
I will remember a name and remember a face, but I can't put the two together.
I will
Oh,
remember
I have-
a face.
Yeah.
They will tell me their name. I will never remember their name.
Yeah, that's how it works with me. If someone contacts me and I see their name, unless I'm talking to them all the time, I don't remember it. But if I see their picture, I do remember it. But if they send me a message and I see their picture, if I don't see the name, it's the same relation. It's kind of weird. I have to have both to know what the hell's going on. I don't.
Let's put it this way. At previous jobs, I've worked with people for like 5 years. And this is not a joke. I did not know their names. I would talk to them every day.
Super fair.
Yeah.
I was like, they'd be like, "Oh, can you go talk to Sarah?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I'll just leave.
Just leave.
I don't know.
I'll get on
I'll
that.
just leave.
I know that one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
Let me guess. You said
they
you
acted
look
like
at me
I
and
had
go.
a dent in my head. They thought I was like cripplingly stupid, which fair. But like,
you know what you could have done?
After 9 months, you can't just be like, "Hey,
Right.
Chip."
Yeah.
Chip.
There's a point of no return.
There's a point of no return.
Yeah,
I was way past it.
There's an answer for that. Anytime you get in that situation, just say duly noted. That's all you got to do. Just duly noted.
That's what Steven does.
That's why I liked working at the theme parks back in Florida. Everyone wears a name tag. I didn't have to remember faces.
You're like, "Hey, Jude, how are you today?" Yeah, right.
And sometimes, even if I know the person's name, and I know, like it's rock solid, I definitely know it. Sometimes it's just gone, and I'm like,
I'm so glad you said that. I almost never, like in casual conversation, address somebody by their name.
No, because it's weird.
Ever.
Really?
I'm like terrified that for like however long I've known them, I've like misattributed a random name to them, and I'm gonna call them their name, and it's gonna not be their name.
Now, Grace, how do you feel about
casual
this?
Conversation. How often? Oh yeah.
That's okay. As I'll say, I'll go into restaurants with my wife all the time, and the girl will come over, the guy will come over, the server, and they'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm, whatever. But I'll usually try to see their name tag before they say anything. So they'll come over to the table, and I'm like, "Hey, John, how's it going, buddy? Hey, man, how's it going?" And they're totally trying to act like they know me because
they're humoring you.
Or they don't know who I am, and then they'll be like, "Do I know you?"
They're humoring you.
Well, I usually tell them.
I worked in a restaurant. They get that shit all the time.
Right, but I always
in a restaurant.
But you've not heard you've not heard the story though.
Okay, continue.
I'll follow it up with, "Oh, I'm the guy that goes around and needs name tags," and then they're like, "Oh, okay," and then it's all good. So I use it off.
My hands are sweating. That's.
Who's this weirdo? You're not wrong, Tyler. You're not wrong at all.
Man,
Who's this?
man.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's what they're thinking in their head. Who is this old weirdo here?
You know what? When I was working retail, I had this client. I can tell you his first name. His name was Gary.
Shout out to Gary.
Shout out to Gary
in the fan zone.
This Gary was the worst person I've ever met in my entire life, and like.
Was he a snake?
I confused his wife or partner's name with a different person. And I was calling her Rosa. Her name was not Rosa. It was like Jackie.
Hey,
and he just let me call her Rosa for like the 3 months that I was working with them.
Oh no.
and never corrected me until I CC'd her on an email one day, and she corrected me. And I was like, "You just let me call your wife a different name to you for 3 months. This is my worst nightmare."
It may have been his mistress, though.
With the way he treated her, maybe.
Oh, have you ever been called like someone?
I've been called many things.
No, yeah, no, they just use the wrong name, or they, like they misidentify you completely as someone else.
I've had people very warmly greet me. I had someone jump on my back one time.
Oh my god.
I was like 18.
That's
and
probably
they were,
over the
like,
top a
mortified.
little bit.
Yeah.
They
Was you
thought I
like
was
freaked
their
out
friend,
or what?
but
Or did you like go with it?
I empathized because like they seemed so mortified the second that it happened, and like seeing my face and realizing it wasn't me.
Oh, one of those deals. Oh man, you should have like
Yeah.
totally thrown them over and slammed them on the ground. Oh, I'm so sorry you screwed up. But anyway,
I just have those like really traumatic small child memories of like going to the grocery store and following some other woman around because your field of vision only goes up to like the knee. You're like, yeah, this looks like my mom's legs. Yeah. And you look up and you're like, who is that?
oh my god.
New
All right.
mom? Whoa.
It is time. We must do the drawings and get the H out of here before I have an angry wife on the stream. It's not going to be cool either. She's a mean hobbit, let me tell you. Let me switch over here. I want to thank everybody for coming out and seeing us tonight. It's been really good. It's been a really good stream. A lot of good interaction and fun. Let me get over here and get these. So if you've not entered the giveaway, you've got like 2 seconds.
Tyson and Jerome. Our names are Tyler and Jeremy.
What did they say? I'm missing out. What did you say?
Rick Montel said, "I worked for a year under a general manager who referred to me and another person as Tyson and Jerome. Our names were Tyler and Jeremy."
What a wacky
It's
character.
unbelievable.
Man, oh man.
All right.
Oh yeah, Steven, if you have anything to add, now's the time.
Yeah, Steve, if you want to
Yeah,
call
yeah.
in real quick for one last thing.
On our call-in radio show.
Phone a friend.
Phone a
This
troll.
is our call-in radio program.
All right, we're going to pull these out here. I'm going to pick a $15 winner. This is straight cash off of the store. Steve loves it when I do this. And once you win, there'll be a link in the chat. Just go to our Discord, contact Obsidian Risk, and he will get you a code. Our first winner is Antiquitous, also known as the Cannibal Cleric.
Hey,
Cannibal Cleric.
let's
What
go.
a guy.
The last game I ran on the stream, he ate at the party. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
Awesome.
It's bad news. Next winner is going to be
He calls everybody Smokey.
Devian.
Oh, okay. Hey, Antiquus
Devin.
pointed out that the name association thing is called the Baker effect. It's actually a thing.
Baker effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
The-
David.
The Billy effect?
Congrats.
So you both got a
The
$15
Bruce effect?
thing to use on the
Thank
store.
somebody. I don't remember.
And now we're going to pull the $25. Here we go.
Ooh.
Look at Lando
Yeah.
rolling in.
Lando.
The Archmago.
Well,
Lando. Good job,
Billy the
Lando.
Rat says, on the line, we have a longtime listener, first-time calling, Steven from Arkansas. You're on the air.
Yeah, that would be funny. I should have thought of doing that. That would have been some funny shit. He might have went with it. Who knows? I don't know. It would have been funny, though. All right, let me set us up a raid and we'll get out of here real quick. Any last thoughts from everybody else? And also, while you're listening to me blabber, I have switched monitors, so now I can no longer type in chat.
Oh, Lando one. Hey,
There it is.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's all right. You usually don't. All right, so we're going to do this. There's our streaming schedule. You can check that out if you want to see where we're going to be on Twitch. We're also co-streaming to
Oh,
Facebook and to YouTube, so they kind of match together. Congratulations to all the winners. We appreciate that. I've got my game coming up Saturday morning, as usual. We got a new player on there, and Jeremy will be back this week. He won't be sleepy, so we'll hopefully see if he can save the party from death, because they are actually dying. And then tomorrow, we have a special charity stream with Lord Gasumba for the Greyhawk Mega charity event. And you guys can come over and see us over here if you want to tomorrow. We'll be streaming at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. It'll be a 4-hour session, I think. Steve's going to be running us through something. There's a bunch of us. So it should be a lot of fun, I think. It'll be a lot of fun. So you can come over and give us an idea of how to mess with the CK. That would be a lot of fun, actually. I would enjoy that. That would be groovy. All right. Anything else you want to add, guys?
No.
Davis is like, no. Let me get this grade off here.
Hey, look at
Piss towards the wind.
Yeah.
Leave you with that.
Yeah, do it to the wind. Look, it went from light to dark at Jeremy's place. You
It's
can
true.
Are you Jimmy
Okay,
tonight?
I got a good hypothetical.
What?
What would you do if, say, there's an emergency and you have to fly? It's a red-eye flight. You have to take this flight. It's a 9-hour flight, and this is the only one. You have to take it. And when you board the plane, you see that every single other seat is occupied by a chimpanzee. Because
Actually,
they're
hold
doing
on.
some sort of weird zoo exchange thing.
Hold up on the raid. We're going to do something here. I forgot about a message I forgot. So continue, Jeremy. We're
Would
going to
you
be on here for just
would
a
you
few
get
more
on the
minutes.
plane?
Would you get on the plane?
Would you get on the plane? You have to get there. It's like an emergency.
Yeah.
9 hours with a plane full of chimps.
If it's a plane flight, my mindset is like you just deal with it. Whatever the situation is, whatever the
I wouldn't do it.
circumstances are, you handle it, you deal with it. Whatever. That's the circumstance in front of you.
I'd be afraid that they'd kill me.
I am Wolf.
Do I have all my Lanesta with me?
You have whatever you can bring on the plane.
I'll bring a bucket of Lanesta and just take the Lanesta. And I either not wake up or arrive on. If not, chimpanzees are huge.
They're big. They're about as big as people.
Yeah, they're
Almost
not little
one.
monkeys. They're not like what's the little ones called? The real tiny ones.
Well, wait. Are the chimpanzees dressed?
Wait, what are y'all talking
sure.
about?
They got hats
I
and
did
pins.
not hear the beginning of this conversation. What the
They
hell?
have hats and pants on. Are
They
they-
have hats
I
and
don't know
pants
that.
and gloves.
Do they have pocket protectors?
No,
Oh,
because
that's
they're
awesome,
not wearing
boy.
shirts.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Wait, am I first class or economy?
no, you're in coach with the chimps.
Oh, I don't even get economy. I get coach.
Yeah, you get coach. And they're all buckled in, but if there is a non-zero possibility that they will work out how to undo the buckles.
Are there any this what do they call the
Flight
people who
attendants?
walk- yeah, the people who walk up and down the aisle.
No, it is you, the chimps, and the pilots.
Chimpanzees aren't like mindless.
No,
They're
no.
animals with their own like
No,
personalities
but
and minds.
once their ears start popping, they probably get pretty
Oh.
violent.
What are y'all talking about? I have no
maybe.
clue what the conversation.
I asked the
You have
pilot.
to you have to ride on a 9-hour flight with a plane full of chimpanzees. You
Wait,
have to
no.
ride
Ask
on a
the
9-hour
pilot
flight
if I
with a
can
plane
go-
full of chimpanzees.
Nope,
You
wait,
have to
no,
ride on a
pilot,
9-hour
no.
flight with a plane full of chimpanzees.
Nope.
I lock the bathroom door and go to sleep.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
you could survive in the
Are
bathroom.
we talking like Planet of the Apes intelligence? That is a really good
No.
question. That's a good question. That's not a bad question. That's good.
No, they are mundane chimpanzees. And they have had experience around humans before. They are zoo chimps. None of them have attacked anyone before, but you never know.
Yeah, no problem.
I'd be
mean,
so
Send.
scared.
You have to
Full
get there,
send.
right? You
Because
have
there'd
to,
be one like right here and right here in the seats beside you because you have a middle seat.
but you have to get there, right? Otherwise,
You
you're
have
gonna
to get
die.
there.
But you're
So
going to
it's
die
either-
if you don't.
Let's say your head would explode if you don't get there.
Then yes, of course I would.
Alternatively, okay, your head won't explode, but like you'll miss
Like
Hey, darling.
something
signing.
really emotionally important to you.
a book signing.
Someone
No, I get
is dying, and you only have so
Okay,
much
I
time to
got
say
yeah,
goodbye.
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
do it.
Who was it? It's Scottish Jeff said, chimps will tear you apart. I'd pay extra just to sit with the pilots. Smart. All right, we got about 2 or 3 more minutes to go. Then we're going right into Jay. I forgot I promised, but he's starting the stream tonight, the mega stream.
Hey.
So we're going to right into him over there. So you
What is
guys
it?
can, he's actually, what is his, Jay, you're listening. What are you running tonight? It's a game, right? I know you're running a game. Or is it just a prelude? I can't remember what you're running actually.
Is it the St. Jude's thing starting?
Yeah,
now?
it starts tonight. Yeah, he's
It
trying
starts
to.
tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
starts tonight with his stream here, and then after him is Carlos Lysing, and then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is what do they call it? It's a new group. I can never remember the names of people anymore.
Okay, same question, but with spiders.
Yeah, Prelude
No.
to Feast of Fiends.
Well,
No,
They're non-venomous.
are they
They're just
are they
loose.
contained?
They're just loose.
No.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Everything that I said earlier is out the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be
Okay.
fine with the spider.
So you'd go in with chimps, but not spiders? The
Yeah.
spiders cannot kill you,
Well,
but the chimps definitely can.
let me think about it.
So here, I'll tell you a spider story real quick. This is funny. So
Because I probably wouldn't do it with the spiders either.
I'm calculating,
So
running the numbers.
So I'm camping one time, right? And it starts to rain, and I don't have my tent with me or anything like that. You know, I just have a blanket. So I find a cedar tree and I crawl up underneath the cedar tree, right?
God. Oh God.
Because it acts like a thing, right? It acts like
I
a
hate
rain
these
shield.
stories. Yeah.
Yes. So I go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, my face itches, and I'm like, I reach up, I start scratching my face. And there's like a granddaddy long leg on my hand, right? And then I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just raking off granddaddy long legs.
It's the big clumps of them, yeah.
Big clumps of them had gotten on me during the night, and we're just hanging out.
Oh
like,
God.
They're buddies though.
Chimps throwing spiders.
So on the topic of spiders, I have started the
Now we're
raid so we
cooking
can
with
get the
gas.
hell away from the spider talk. Just hang in here for a
You
minute.
say tarantulas.
Let's get Jay a big fat raid if we can. As many people as we can.
Also, I've come around to the
You
idea.
do tarantulas?
I do tarantulas.
Really?
What if
How
they're
about those
house
spiders
spiders?
that's over there in like in Arabia and stuff? They've got those spiders out in the desert, like like
Oh, the
this.
camel spiders?
Yeah, them
Oh,
things
are
are
they gonna bite
terrifying.
me?
What?
Now, I would not do it with flies under no circumstance.
No, that would be hell.
That would be a living. Yeah,
They would
no,
eat you. They would
I
probably eat
would
you.
rather take a spoon and dig my eyes out than get in a plane full of freaking.
Are
Million
there any other
flies.
options?
All right. On that note, we're going to raid out to Jay. He's starting the mega stream. He's up over there. I want to thank everybody for coming by.
Oh God, bot flies. Why do you have to say that?
Please feel free to come by tomorrow and Saturday. Enjoy all the wonderful streams going on. Jay will be
We'll
posting
be markedly
schedule up.
less cursed.
We've got schedules up on the internet, and we'll have our game
if I
at
can help
2
it.
p.m. Eastern. So come by and see us. And yeah, we're going to get out of here. So give Jay some love. Or not. Give him
Uppities.
shit. So, all right.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Dealer's choice.
See you later. Peace.
Stay easy.